Many people long to find their soulmate because they believe that a soulmate is someone with whom they're destined to have a lasting romantic relationship. It gets complicated when one finds their soulmate only to realize that they're committed to someone else. If you learn that your soulmate is already married, what you do next is entirely up to you. However, you must take into consideration these three things. 1. We have more than one soulmate. 2. Not all soulmate connections are meant to be romantic by nature. And 3. The universe works in mysterious ways, and the best you can do is to be patient and wait as your spiritual journey unfolds before you. A soulmate connection is an energetic link that binds two people. It's a complicated and often misunderstood concept. Before you decide what to do after knowing that your soulmate is married, it's advisable to learn what a soulmate is and what it's not. What to do when your soulmate is married to someone else. 1. Know the true meaning of a soulmate connection. The idea of soulmates is a widely used concept, albeit often misunderstood and wrongly defined. Many believe that a soulmate is the one, someone they're bound to be with forever. This fairy tale-like notion is further made famous by mainstream media. Contrary to popular belief, a soulmate relationship isn't always romantic by nature. It's also definitely not a smooth sailing relationship that's only full of sparks, unicorns, and rainbows. In general, soulmate connections require dedication, love, and commitment, just like any other kind of relationship. Your soulmate isn't necessarily your one true love or the person you're destined to be with for the rest of your life. Believing in such myths can be unhealthy for you and also negatively affect your decisions. Therefore, it's significant to discern the true nature of a soulmate connection to understand it better. A soulmate connection is one of the most divine soul connections. Our soulmate is part of our soul group, or the people with whom we share a sacred spiritual contract. Their purpose is to bring profound changes and transformations in our lives. In addition to that, there are many types of soulmate connections. Because a soulmate is part of one's larger soul group, it means we have more than one soulmate. In other words, your mother, best friend, mentor, or neighbor can be your soulmate. The concept of soulmates is also usually used interchangeably with the idea of twin flames or kindred spirits. A twin flame is the most divine and most intense type of soul connection because your twin flame is, quite literally, the other half of your soul. We can have more than one soulmate, but we only have one twin flame. Moreover, there's a possibility that we won't meet them in this lifetime. On the other hand, kindred spirits aren't connected on a spiritual level, unlike soulmates. A kindred spirit relationship is mostly built on mutual interests, complementing personalities, and compatibility on an emotional and mental level. Your kindred spirit is sometimes a better marriage partner than your soulmate. Discerning the true meaning of a soulmate connection is of utmost importance. Once you know the myths that surround this concept, as well as the different types of soulmate connections, you'll understand your circumstance better. The right knowledge will enable you to make better decisions when suffering from the thought that your soulmate is unavailable or already married. When facing such a predicament, it also helps to remember that every action, both good and bad, has consequences. 2. Determine if the person is indeed your soulmate. As indicated earlier, the idea of soulmates is quite complicated. At this point, it's crucial to remember that, as emphasized before, soulmate relationships aren't always meant to be romantic. In addition to that, there's a high probability that you're stressing over the thought of your soulmate being married to someone else, when in fact, they're not even your soulmate. Therefore, before anything else, it's best to confirm if you have a soulmate connection with the person by looking out for some telling signs like the ones indicated below. 3. You sense the soul connection. Instantly. As stated previously, a soulmate connection is one of the most divine soul connections. Therefore, once you meet your soulmate, you'll immediately feel an energetic pull from the person. After all, your soul will recognize who's part of your larger soul group. 4. You see them in your dreams. One of the most common signs of a soulmate connection is seeing the person in your dreams. You may or may not have seen them in your waking life yet, but your intuition will tell you that the person is indeed your soulmate. Soulmates are connected in the spiritual plane. Even in your dreams, you'll feel the energy pattern unique to your soulmate. 5. You meet them at the perfect time. There's no such thing as coincidences when it comes to soulmate connections. Even if your meeting is unexpected, your encounter with your soulmate will occur at the right place at the right time. Meeting them indicates that you're ready to undergo spiritual development. 6. You can freely communicate with the person. A telling sign of a soulmate connection is good communication. You'll feel comfortable bearing your soul to your soulmate, and they'll understand your thoughts, feelings, needs, and desires. Some soulmates can communicate telepathically, but such a phenomenon is quite rare, especially for individuals who haven't tapped into their psychic abilities yet. 7. They help you become the best version of yourself. Your soulmate is someone who will hold your hand along the way to help you become the best version of yourself. In general, some changes are never easy, but your soulmate will be there to help you live a happier, more purposeful life. After all, the purpose of all kinds of soul connections is to help us with our journey towards spiritual growth and enlightenment. 8. Trust the way of the universe. If you learn that this person is indeed your romantic soulmate, and they're already married, you mustn't fall into despair. Remember to trust the way of the universe. This circumstance can be a chapter before your chapter with your soulmate, in this lifetime or the next. The next best thing to do is to wait, because such a situation isn't in your control. It's vital to remember that the best thing you can do when facing such a dilemma is to start with the things you can control. It's advisable to surrender the soulmate connection and work on yourself and your spiritual growth instead. Look within yourself and do what you must do to achieve your highest good. 9. Shared interests. Like twin flames, a soulmate mirrors your greatest strengths and weaknesses. However, the depth of connection may not be as strong compared to twin flames, but it's more joyful and harmonious. One sign you've met your soulmate is if you share the same interests and sense of humor. When you're with your soulmate, you just feel immense pleasure and comfort in their company. 10. Remember that you can have many soulmates. From an esoteric lens, soulmates are believed to be extensions of one's spiritual self. While you only have one twin flame, you will meet many soulmates during your time on Earth. These people will inspire you, make you see things differently, catalyze your growth, shower you with love, or teach you a lesson. It's also important to note that soulmates are not limited to romantic attachments. They may come in the form of a mentor, a friend, or your favorite author. 11. Don't sabotage their marriage. If you happen to be attracted to a married soulmate, it may be best to distance yourself from them. No matter how strong your connection is, having an affair with a married soulmate will likely not end well. Allow the universe to align you towards the right people at the right time. 12. Focus on yourself. Instead of wasting your life waiting for someone who's already committed to another soul, focus instead on building the life you want, spending time with the people who care about you, and working on becoming the best version of yourself. 13. Be clear on what you want and learn to set boundaries. If you're already having an affair with a married soulmate, it's important to decide exactly what you want from this relationship. If they keep promising to leave their spouse without following through, the best course of action is simply to move on and remove yourself from the situation. 14. Don't force things. Meeting your soulmate when they're already committed to someone else may feel like the universe is playing some kind of sick joke on you. No matter how strong your connection and chemistry are, it might be best to take a step back and allow the universe to align them in your life when the time is right. 15. Be respectful. When you meet a married soulmate you're romantically attracted to, remember to be respectful to their family and, more importantly, to yourself. Before pursuing any kind of relationship with your soulmate, you have to know what you're getting into and if this is actually what you want. It's also important to not force or beg them to do anything. If they choose to stay with their spouse, you must try to respect and honor their decision. Understanding the purpose of soul connections. Soul connections are psychic links between two people that surpass physical limitations. Although the primary purpose of soul connections is to help us in our spiritual journey, Each type of soul connection has a specific function in our lives. One type of soul connection is the past life connection or karmic relationship. In this lifetime, we'll meet people who will teach us valuable lessons that we haven't learned in our past lives. Once they fulfill their purpose, they'll go on their way to continue their spiritual journey. Karmic relationships tend to be painful because they aren't meant to last. Our karmic soulmate is only supposed to help us reach our full potential by showing us what we lack or what we should change. They'll challenge us to revisit old wounds, face our fears, and take responsibility for our actions, and we'll do the same for them. Karmic relationships are the opposite of what most people think of when they hear the word soulmates. A companion soulmate, on the other hand, is the closest to the expectations of many. A companion soulmate can be a romantic partner, sibling, parent, or a relationship with a companion soulmate can last forever. However, there are also times when they stay for only a few pages in one chapter of our lives. Another type of soul connection is the twin flame connection. As mentioned earlier, this is the most divine among all the soul connections because it connects two souls from the same energy source. Twin flames have a push and pull dynamic, and their relationship enters difficult phases like the runner and chaser phase. In general, twin flame relationships are confusing, intense, painful, and overwhelming. After all, your twin flame exists to help you see and embrace your flaws and uncover your hidden potential. Your twin flame is your mirror soul. They'll show you a part of yourself that's usually hidden in the shadows and make you realize that your weaknesses can also be your strength. Although being with them is challenging, they'll bring healing to your life. Finding a psychic reader. If you need guidance and insightful advice about soulmate relationships, or soul connections in general, the best you can do is seek counsel from a psychic advisor. Psychic advisors on this website who specialize in soulmate connections can determine if someone is indeed your soulmate. They can also give you information about your other soul contracts. Professional psychics can help you discern if you're on the right path when it comes to your romantic life. Moreover, they can empower you to make the right decisions by giving you the different perspectives you need based on your circumstance.